So the story of Moses' rod goes all the way back to the garden, and which was revealed to me by Zen Garcia in his book, The Rod of Wonder and the Garments of Power. And in this picture here, you can see Adam and Eve taking the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you could see the serpent, which is a feathered serpent wrapped around the tree. So the story goes, when Adam and Eve sinned in the garden and the serpent was cursed, and when they got kicked out of the garden, God made them coats of skin. And this skin of coats was the original skin of the serpent, the feathered serpent. And the serpent probably looked like this. This is a picture of Quetzalcoatl. Before God kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden, he broke a branch off of the tree of life and gave it to Adam, which would eventually become the rod of wonder, the sapphire stick. These relics would be passed down through Adam's line, eventually leading to Seth, and then to Enoch, and then to Noah, and taken onto the ark. And then after they got off of the ark, Ham stole the garments of power, and eventually giving them to his son Cush, and then Cush giving them to Nimrod, in which Nimrod put those garments of power on, and was eventually able to rule the whole world. The rod would stay in the line of Adam, eventually going to Shem, who also was Melchizedek, and eventually giving it to Abraham, also passing the priesthood down with him. In the book of Jasher, we're told that Esau eventually kills Nimrod in the forest while hunting, taking the garments of power, and which Esau would eventually sell to his brother with his birthright. So once Jacob got these back, he had both the rod of wonder and the garments of power, and eventually giving them to his son, Joseph. Jacob gave the rod of wonder and the garments of power to Joseph, which were the multicolored garments. Which is interesting because we know that the garments of power were the original skins of the feathery serpent. And over here we have a picture of Quetzalcoatl, which is a multicolored being. Joseph would reign in Egypt with these relics, and eventually when his family came down to live with him. Soon after that, Joseph would die, and these relics would go to the house of Pharaoh, where Reuel stole these relics, taking them back to his house, accidentally planted the rod of wonder in his garden. After Moses is released from Reuel's dungeon, he goes to his garden to pray, and eventually turns around and sees a sapphire stick sticking out of the ground with the name of God and the 10 plagues imbued on it. And he goes over to it and plucks it out of the ground. And Reuel's looking over and realizes he's the chosen one. This story is scattered throughout the extra-biblical manuscripts, the hidden books, a story hidden within the hidden books. Zen Garcia, researching the extra-biblical manuscripts, pulled all these stories together and printed it into one book, which this book is amazing, and I actually misspoke earlier. It's The Vestures of Light and the Rod of Wonder. Amazing book.